Oh man. Oh God, I am so jacked up. Before I get going here, somebody, I don't know why I do this, but in social media, somebody put down Chiefs should sign Sue, OBJ, and trade for Saquon. And people were like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So Chiefs Kingdom, please be smarter. You're quickly turning into the dumbest fan base in all of sports. Guys, give me 30 seconds. I'm going to be right back. Yes. Oh man. Oh God, I am like super jacked up today. Super jacked up today. Very excited. I get to talk some football. My favorite thing to do in the whole world. I watched a lot of it. Um, I watched a lot of highlights, but I actually watched a lot of games. Um, got to watch Chiefs. Got to watch Chiefs Colts, obviously. Then Green Bay, Tampa Bay. It was so hard to watch Denver, San Francisco, and New York, Dallas. It's funny when I watch games where I already know what happened. It's so hard to do, but I had so much more fun watching Raiders, Tennessee, Detroit, Minnesota than I did, and I already knew what was going to happen, and I enjoyed that so much more than Denver, San Francisco, and Dallas, New York. Those are some really really tough games. Oh, Funk, man, what is good, buddy, man? I'm glad I got some Lions fans in here. One thing I love about the NFC North is Vikings fans, Lions fans, and Packers fans are just a really smart, good fan base. And Bears fans are passionate. The Chiefs Kingdom is quickly becoming one of the dumbest fan bases in all of football. Like I subscribe to a lot of stuff. I'm trying to grow my channel and everything. And it's just, I swear to God, it's just statement after statement just gets dumber and dumber. It's bad. I watched the whole game. Lions, Vikings. I'm going to talk a lot about it. There are at least 7 plays that the Lions don't blow it by either bad coaching decision, absolutely. You stole my thunder. I can end the show right now. You're 100% correct. Okay, if you are watching this and you're not a Lions fan, you didn't see the game, the Lions are up 24-14, about 6-7 minutes into the fourth quarter. They 100% should have won this game. If you're a Chiefs fan and you're saying, hey, you want to talk about there are so many similarities between the Lions and the Chiefs. Both teams got some bullshit unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. The one against the Chiefs is much worse than the one against the Lions. The one against the Lions was comical because if you've seen that Key and Peele skit where it's like 3 pumps, that's exactly what happened. Is he gets in the dance. He does it. No way it should have been a penalty. By the way, Williams has this great touchdown run, does a little dance in end zone. 100% should not have been a penalty. 100% should not have been a penalty. And the first thing I thought of was that Key and P skill. I wish I had the clip because bottom line, it was funny. It was like, oh, he should have done 2 pumps. It's exactly, by the way, that was exactly what happened. Like he does a little dance and it's like, oh yeah, it should have been 2 pumps. You did 3 pumps. Yeah, dude, yes. Seriously, no way that should have been a penalty. No way it should have been a penalty. Hi, Dan. We chatted a few weeks. Yes, I remember. Yes, you're a Vikings fan. That is awesome. I've had Chiefs season tickets since '89, and I'm not going to the games anymore. My sister and her husband are doing that now, and Vikings fans have always traveled well, and they've always been super awesome at Arrowhead. The last time they were at Arrowhead, it was, I think, 2 years ago, and I felt really bad because they were yelling "Skol," and a couple these two fans a few rows up, and they just suck. They stand up the whole game. They're doing this like the whole game. It's two girls, and they're just like doing this, and they're just not even paying attention to the game. And they told the guy to shut the F up. And I was like, and I turned around, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry, man. And so they explained what the skull chant was, because I'm like, what the hell is that? And we ended up talking. You know, I always like talking with smart fans from opposing teams. And I was like, that I didn't know what the skull thing was. It's actually really cool. I have a soft spot for Vikings fans, Packers fans, and if you watch this show, I have a large following from Detroit Lions fans, and I love them. They are smart. This comment, basically, I thought that I would get into an argument about this, but Funk 100% nailed it. 100% nailed it, because the Lions, what they did is they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. 100% should have won this game. And it's funny because I'm a Chiefs fan, and we are saying the exact same thing. If you didn't watch the game, you don't know what I'm talking about. The Chiefs are up. They sacked Matt Ryan, and it was like a 3rd and 19 or something like that, or it was going to be 4th and 19. And Chris Jones is talking to Matt Ryan, and next thing you know, 15-yard penalty. And the NFL's not releasing what was said, but the NFL, for those of you who don't know, the NFL has made a point this offseason to enforce unsportsmanlike penalty calls. They've made there's been a big uptick in unsportsmanlike calls. But what they're really focusing on is players standing above other players, specifically defensive backs, that after an incompletion or after a tackle, they stand above the receiver. And the NFL made a big deal to try to cancel that out. So there's been an uptick in unsportsmanlike conduct calls across the NFL. The Chiefs got a really bad one. The one that Williams did really didn't affect the game that much. I mean, they kicked it off, but Minnesota had a penalty. A lot of Chiefs fans blame Chris Jones for that game. 8 minutes, 2 scores. I thought it was 6, to be honest. Yeah, it shouldn't have been a penalty. It reminded me of that Key and Peele skit, but that touch base, bad coaching and blowing an assignment is exactly what did you in. And I thought that you would be angry when I come out and I say that what cost the Lions the game was bad coaching, and 100%, you nailed it. It was bad coaching. Again, if you're not a Lions fan or a Vikings fan, it's cool. Like, I need more Vikings fans here. I love Vikings fans. The score is 24-21, and Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down several times, but for whatever reason, late in the game, they decided, instead of going for a 4th and 1, they decided to try a 54-yard field goal when they already missed a field goal earlier in the game. So they missed the field goal. Vikings to get the ball back about a minute 10, minute 13. First down wins the game, by the way. First down wins the game. Vikings out of timeouts. That's also the big part. So they're out of timeout. So they have this really, really, really great play down the middle of the field, about 30-some seconds in the game, and they're running to get the ball. And next thing you know, the clock stops. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering what the hell happened. And turned out to be the Lions. The Lions actually called a timeout. This couldn't have helped the Vikings more. It was just such a comically bad move, because the clock's moving. There's no timeouts on the Vikings part. So the Vikings they were going to run and just spike the ball. That was the only thing you could do. But instead, they help them out and give them a few extra seconds. The very next play, it was a blown assignment. And you know what the worst part is that, let's say you get the ball back, or you did get the ball back. Okay. Now you would have had about, I'm going to say 5, 6, maybe 7 seconds less, but that timeout would have come in handy. So Grand, do you feel like you guys got lucky to walk out of the home game with a W? I'm going to tell you this right now. The Lions, I watched that game. The Lions outplayed the Vikings. They're up 24-14. In my opinion, Dalvin Cook's the best player. A lot of people think it's Justin Jefferson, but I think it's Dalvin Cook. When Dalvin Cook was out, now I knew the Vikings won the game. All right, so I knew the Vikings won the game, but if I didn't know the Vikings won the game, and I'm watching this live, scores 24-14, and I was like, no Dalvin Cook, you're up by 10, you're able to run the ball. Lions got this. Lions got this. It was really bad. And Funk, by the way, your favorite AFC team, the Kansas City Chiefs, same thing. It was basically the same thing. Chris Jones got a call, gave the Colts life. But the play that really destroyed things for the Chiefs was Kelsey dropped the touchdown. So what happened is Kelsey dropped the touchdown, and the Chiefs kicker missed an extra point earlier. We signed him because Butker, our Pro Bowl kicker, got injured against Arizona. The turf, there was an issue with the turf. So there's lots of sliding. So he it looked like he broke his ankle, actually just a sprain. I think he's coming back because after the game, the Chiefs released the kicker. So he missed an extra point. And instead of going for a long field goal, they ran a fake, which give the Colts a lot of credit. Special teams played phenomenal for the Colts. It really, really won the game for them. Well, special teams mistakes cost the game, but yeah. The 4th and 4th call was so not on script for Dan's persona. It ruined any drive the team had. Seriously, he's a live by the sword, died by a sword coach, and he sheathed the sword he preaches to be. You're 100% correct. When they went for it earlier, I think it was 4th and 4. I thought that was a mistake, but I figured, okay, well, it's 4th and 1. Well, now you go for it. That's just common sense. And why he tried the long field goal made no sense. That was really bad. And then he doubled down on bad coaching by that timeout. That was just terrible. And then after the timeout, it was a blown coverage. But let me give you some tips. Let me give you some things to be happy about. Things that I have not watched a full Lions game all year, so this is the first time I can talk to you and say, let me give you some positives. Jeff Okudah looks good. Like, he looks like the 3rd pick in the draft. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's athletic, he's long. He looks like a Pro Bowl corner. And having a Pro Bowl corner is very key, especially when you're going against the Vikings. He more than held his own. He looks like a stud. Penei Sewell looks awesome. And I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to lose this argument. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I firmly believe Penei Sewell moves to guard. He's like the best guard in the NFL. He's like Quentin Nelson plus. And for those of you who don't know, Penei Sewell's 6'4", 330. He's built like a vending machine. He's just a giant square. I'm going to use a quote from Pulp Fiction. He's this big, giant Samoan motherfucker. I mean, it's not a quote, but you get what I'm saying. He's just a big dude. You can't bull rush this dude. He's got phenomenal feet. And can you imagine him and Ragnow double teaming nose tackle? Game over. But he may go to the Pro Bowl this year as a right tackle. Played lights out. So a lot of Bengals fans, or a lot of national media and Bengals fans, were mad because Chase was taken before Sewell. And I thought they went with the right move with Chase. And then after year 1, it's like, oh man, you definitely made the right move. 10 years from now, we may be looking at Sewell as the better player than Chase. And Sewell looked really good. So your 2 high draft picks, Okudah looked really, really good. Very impressive. Your other guy, 24, I'm drawing a blank on his name, and like 5 or 6 penalties. A young, talented kid, maybe better suited as a safety. Deshaun Elliott, your player from Baltimore, actually had several good plays. There's a lot to like about the Detroit Lions. Let me tell you something. The Detroit Lions have a lot to be happy about, and I would be really shocked if they didn't win against Seattle. But you guys played a good game. It was a heartbreaking loss. You should have won the game. But you have a very good opportunity to be 2-2. Think about this. You're going from a 3-win 2021 to a very good chance of being 2-2, and you really should win this game against Seattle. I'm really looking forward to it. There's a new report out that there's evidence that the pandemic has made people more angry and less kind, so more penalties would make sense. Well, it's more penalties, but it's because the NFL has really gone out of its way to try to put a bigger emphasis on the unsportsmanlike conduct. And what it is, it's a business, and I think people are. I'd say people, not all people, but I think the general public didn't like the taunting, and that's something the NFL has always like kind of like tried to scale back on. Is they want you to celebrate, they don't want you to taunt. So the unsportsmanlike conduct calls are going to go up, but the one against the Lions was a bad call. The one against the Chiefs I thought was a bad call, but would I feel that way if it went the other way? I probably wouldn't. So, and bonus the kicker. Oh, really? I didn't know that. But I knew he missed a field goal earlier. Bad move. Here's the thing. Earlier in the game, they shouldn't have gone for it on fourth down, and then they should have gone for the win. And I thought going for the field goal, they still score a touchdown. They win 28-27. And then the blown coverage is unexcusable. I didn't get to see the game, just scores and highlights. I got a lot of Lions fans here, and I love the Lions fans. They bring in a lot. They're smart fans. They're great fans. I would love to get more fan bases involved, but my Lions fan base is phenomenal, and you can see Funk's just really knows his football. Really smart fan base. I live in Kansas City. The Chiefs are quickly becoming one of the dumbest fan bases in all of football. All the NFC North fan bases are like 10 times smarter than the Chiefs fan base. It's comic. The Chiefs Kingdom's quickly becoming one of the dumbest fan bases in all of football. Is painfully dumb. But I'm trying to be unbiased completely, but if I'm being perfectly honest, the Lions really should. I mean, they're up by 10. Your best player's out. Big win for the Vikings, but yeah. I don't hate the timeout. The Vikings had time to get 3 plays off after a spike. They hate the fact that Juju Hedges decided to come up on JJ instead of paying attention to it. I hated the timeout. There's no need. Just all you gotta do is just put 4 or 5 guys in the end zone. That's it. They don't even have to look at the play. All you gotta do is just sprint back to the end zone, keep everything in front of you. That's all you gotta do. And they were going to spike the ball anyway. I mean, the timeout was terrible in my opinion, because they were going to spike the ball and you could have kept that timeout. So let's say it scores 28-24, which happened. Having a timeout just helps, because the last desperation pass, you have to do that because there's no timeouts left. You're just hoping for a flag. By the way, I don't have a problem with Goff throwing that ball. You may disagree, but Goff throwing the Hail Marys trying to get a penalty, no problems with that whatsoever. Had that feeling, and then, yeah. Thoughts on Ben Johnson? Drawing a blank. Is he the guard? Is he the guard? I'm gonna look this up real fast because I'm drawing a complete blank. If he's the guard, that's who I'm thinking of. If he's the guard, I'm sorry, Funk, man. I'm just drawing a complete blank. Ben Johnson. I'm thinking he was the guard, and am I just on crack today? I'm sorry, man. You know how I am, but man, this is going to drive me nuts. I mean, this is kind of bad YouTube right here. I'm just looking stuff up because I'm too stupid to know. But okay. This I am going to answer. I have zero respect for PFF. If PFF said he was the best rated right tackle, he probably gave up 10 sacks. No respect for PFF. You know better than that. I'm drawing a blank on who. Now I'm sorry, man. I'm just drawing a complete blank. Guess I saved you. No. Okay, so let me. I'm going to lose this argument, Funk. I see a guy who could be the best guard in the league. I see a guy who is the best guard in the league, easy, and moving him to tackle. I understand, and that's what you're kind of sort of supposed to do and everything, but I just see somebody who could be better at guard. That's just what I see. I said this during the draft. And by the way, he may make the Pro Bowl, so I'm going to lose this argument, but don't ever judge anything off PFF. I never listen to anything PFF. So Denver Gator, what's up, brother? Man, dude, congrats on the win. It was one of the hardest games I ever had to watch. That was a terrible game. San Francisco, Denver. Congratulations on being 2-1. Terrible game. Funky, I've been banned from watching football because years ago I scared the neighbors. I'm a little old lady, grandmama. Really? Oh, you're in luck here. There's lots of Lions fans here, so you're gonna feel right at home. Lions fans are fantastic. Vikings fans are fantastic. Packers fans are fantastic. Bears fans have passion. I'll say that. So, Cliff, what's up, brother? Or should I say Mike? I'm going to go with Cliff, man. Cliff. Okay, so what happened is I reached out to Pete, and I was going to see if he wanted to come on and talk Dolphins, Bengals, and he said that he knows for an absolute fact the Bengals are going to win, so he didn't want to come on. So, kind of curious what you guys think about that. So, yeah. A little love here. Thank you so much, Grandma Measle. Thank you so much, Grandmama. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember Grandmama. Those are fantastic. It's actually funny. Okay, I'm going to rant a little bit off topic here. I signed up for Netflix, and I'm only going to keep it for like a month. But I watched just recently The Malice at the Palace. Okay. All right. Let me touch base on this for a good. Okay. Ben Johnson's the OC. Okay. All right. For those of you who don't know, goes back to a conversation we had. And what it is that I said the Detroit Lions made a big mistake in not reaching outside the organization to try to get an offensive coordinator, specifically Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He's in Kansas City. He's going to take over as the offensive coordinator. If you watch a Chiefs game, when Patrick Mahomes walks off the field, he walks immediately to Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy is a brilliant offensive mind, but he had some problems with the Chicago Bears. I thought the Detroit Lions should have reached out to Matt Nagy and brought in an outside influence. Instead, the Detroit Lions kind of wanted to keep everything in-house, and I thought this was a major mistake because you're a 3-win team that's bad all over, and I thought getting some outside help would be beneficial. Instead, they promoted from within, and he's done a fantastic job. I love what he's done. I said this for a long time. Amon-Ra St. Brown's ceiling is a number 2. I'm wrong. He's a number 1. I don't know if he's top 10. I don't know if he's top 15, but he's a number 1 receiver. Really, really good player. Swift, banged up ankle, probably not going to be 100% all year. Really, really good player. I watched the whole game, and I'm just now thinking about it. I don't think I remember Hawkinson even called once or twice. He did have a big impact from the game. He did have a big impact. Really good blocker. Somebody who did help quite a bit, but I'm racking my brain. I don't even know if he has a single catch. I know you're not, Funk. I know you're not. I know you're not, but and I get why you said that though, because it's kind of a stupid comment on my part to say take a guy who's probably going to be a Pro Bowl right tackle. If he doesn't go to a Pro Bowl this year, it's because the Lions win 5 or 6 games. But if the Lions were to go to the playoffs, he'd be a Pro Bowl right tackle, and that's just the facts. I actually hope they does go to a Pro Bowl. Really talented, but when he came out of college, I thought he might be better suited on the inside. And I'll want to stand by that. Like, as good as he is on the outside, I think he'd be better inside because I think he's a guy that could pull. I could just see him and Ragnow just double teaming somebody, and every 3rd and 1 would be made. I'm hoping that they give him an opportunity to go on the outside and catch a pass. I actually think he has that type of athleticism. When the NFL does its top 100 next year, Penei Sewell should make the list in the top 100 best players as a right tackle. So I'm going to lose this argument, but I'm going to die on the hill here. I still think he would be better inside. I really, really do. I really do. I just think that inside he might be like the best guard in football. I really believe that. Now he's turning into one of the best right tackles in football. So, but yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. Do you remember those? Those are awesome commercials. Yes. Me's me like the bunny, but yes, I'm better than the bunny. I like the movie. I have no idea what movie you're referring to, but I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're here. Some other games I watched during the week that I didn't watch on Sunday. Titans Raiders. I know the Raiders are 0-3 and the Titans are 1-2. Both these teams could really surprise. I think 0-3 may be too much of a hole for the Raiders to come out. The offensive line's not good. Perryman, when he's out, really hurts a bit. But the Raiders are much better than 0-3. I'm going to say this right now. The Raiders are much better than 0-3, and the Titans at 1-2. I know a lot of you know this. I have a huge man crush on Harold Landry. If Harold Landry was healthy, that defense could be top 5. When I watch the Titans, I'm thinking to myself, how good could this team be in 2023 with Harold Landry healthy? And that secondary is young, is very, very young, very, very athletic. The Titans are a team that I'm kind of watching, and like, is Derrick Henry's healthy and the defense can play good. Autry, really, really key pickup from the Colts. He got banged up. I think he's fine though. He injured his hand, so. Buddy, they pull all kinds of people, guards, tackles, tight end. They don't need to put them inside. I know this. I know this. I'm telling you, when I saw him, I said this. You've been with me for a couple of years, so you can vouch when I say this. When he came out of Oregon, I said I'm not 100% sure he's not better suited to play inside. I'm gonna lose this argument, Funk, but I'm telling you right now, I think he would be better inside than outside, and I think that there's a chance he goes to the Pro Bowl. I think he's an excellent player, and if you're a Lions fan, you got to be excited because you got an absolute stud at right tackle, and he is a stud. I think he's only 22. He's young. He's getting better. He's getting better, and he's already at a high level. And Okudah looks like he looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowl. Okay, so what happened at Ohio State? It was Lattimore, Denzel Ward, and Okudah, and the first two are Pro Bowlers, and Okudah looks like he's following that. Okudah looks like he's the real deal, and if he just stays healthy, he looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowl corner. So you got some really. I know the loss sucks. There is a lot to like about the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions. Easily the most entertaining team in the National Football League. Up by 20, down by 20, up by 10, less than half a quarter. I actually thought it was 6 minutes, maybe it was 7. Half a quarter left, and they lose. Just it's entertaining. It's entertaining. If you like football and you don't care about wins or losses, you just want to watch an entertaining game, watch the Detroit Lions. Must see TV. They need to be on primetime more. They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. Slasher. All right, so Slasher, here's the deal. How does it feel to know that in 48 hours you may have the only undefeated team? Isn't it hard to believe that we're just finishing week 3? There's only 2 undefeated teams, and one of them is playing Thursday, and they're underdogs. They're underdogs against a team that really doesn't look that good. So he would probably be a Hall of Fame guard, but having an All-Pro tackle to me is more important. Yeah. I don't disagree with this. It sounds like you agree with me, is that I really do. I think he would be like one of the all-time greatest guards, but you're right. Tackle's more important position than guard. So you're 100% correct about this. But like I said, I'm going to lose this argument, but I just think he'd be better inside than outside. But he looks like he's going to be an all-pro tackle. If he stays healthy, I think he's going to be an all-pro right tackle for years to come. Now, don't be part of that Lions fan base that says, "Oh, we should just move him to the left side because it works in Matt." Don't be that. Don't be that. But yeah. You're on. We're on the same page today, man. We're kind of linked up. It's awesome, man. And it's funny because the two teams that have quarterbacks from Alabama are criticized for the passing game. Pretty sure both are top 5 currently. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. The quarterback that was benched for the quarterback that won the national championship. I didn't think about that. Teammates. Yeah. And you're right. Both of them were criticized. Tua more for what the NFL, and then Hurts just in college. At Alabama, he wasn't a good passer. Went to Oklahoma, massively improved, and then when the combine hit, he just dominated the combine. I'm trying to rack my brain. There's not too many quarterbacks that went from 5th round after the college football season ends to middle of the 2nd round. I can't think of any quarterback that made that big of a jump. I remember Patrick Mahomes being talked about 2nd, 3rd round and as a 1st round, but I don't think it's the same, because like when he was at Alabama, he was like an undrafted free agent, 7th round pick, and he goes to Oklahoma and he goes from 7th to 5th. And then during the combine, he massively changed his arm, his throwing motion, his footwork. But I remember he met with Steve Mariucci and they went over the whiteboard. I don't think anybody did a better job than Jalen Hurts nailing the whiteboard. And after that, I'm like, oh God, this guy's going to go in the 2nd round. So, but yeah, you're right. And isn't it weird that after 3 weeks, there's only 2 undefeated teams, and it's going to be great because you have I don't know who they're playing off the top of my head. I have them winning. I know that. But you have a really good team in Philly. You have a really, really, really good team in Philly. And then the Dolphins are a complete shocker. And the funny thing, they were a 3-point dog, and it's now going up to 4. So people are betting on Cincinnati. Like when I come back on Friday, I think there's this extremely, extremely good chance that the Philadelphia Eagles are the only undefeated team. It's going to be a great Thursday night game. The movie to let I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea what that movie is. All of them. Yards and Goff's Lions have the 2nd most TDs behind the league's MVP. Oh, dude, the Lions have the offense is really good. Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, give credit where credit's due. I was 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm wrong, but Goff's playing that. Here's an interesting part, is because I still think that what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 first-round picks and you're going to trade up and try to get a quarterback. I still think you're going to try to get a quarterback. So Man, the Dolphins are about to lose another pick though, or something. Doesn't seem like Tua was okay when he came. Okay, so actually, I'm glad you brought this up. I'll talk about this. Tua's banged up. Teron Armstead, starting left tackle's banged up. They have a few other players. The way I understand it, Tua is going to play. He's not 100%. It's a back injury. A quarterback with a back injury is bad. Remember, he got injured in college. He's been injured in the NFL. It's weak. He's going into week 4. He's banged up. The left tackle's banged up. So for those of you, let's just say you're a Dolphins fan and you're like, oh, man, we're doing great. No, you're not. Teron Armstead missed over half the season last year. When he's healthy, he's one of the best left tackles in football. You're going against a ferocious pass rush in Cincinnati. But I do think Armstead and Tua are going to play. They're both questionable. Slasher. So it's iffy if they're going to play. But yeah. And we're going to help the ladies in football widows tomorrow. Absolutely. I forgot to mention that. I'm coming out with a series of videos, a little football 101 videos to try to explain the game. I released one earlier today, just kind of breaking down the conferences and the divisions. It was just a short video. And next week, I'm going to do a little football 101. I have a whiteboard I've been dying to use, and I'm going to do some diagrams. Basically, the next video is just going to be breaking down an offensive play. And I got this idea because I was asked by Mimsy and somebody else, and I've been asked this before, like, I just don't understand football, and I want to watch the game with my husband. And one lady was like, I want to watch it with my boyfriend. It's just that, I try to ask questions. They're like, the game's on, and it's hard to do. So I thought I'd come out with a series of videos. This next one I'm going to break down an offensive play. I'm thinking about doing like a 102 and 10 or 101 and 102 video where I break down the very basics for people that don't understand. And then I come back and do, and then I like the second part of the video, I go into a little more detail for fans that actually know the game. So Hurts was the 4th round prospect for the combine. I was seeing 5th, but usually the way it works with quarterbacks is that quarterbacks get a round boost, which means that if you're a 2nd round quarterback, you get taken in the 1st round. If you're a 5th round quarterback, get taken in the 4th. I saw 5th. I won't fight you on that, but I was not surprised he shot up, and the reason why is because he did everything right. I mean, he did everything perfectly going up to the draft. When he met with Mariucci, and Mariucci interviewed all the quarterbacks, and all of them do good, but Hurts was head and shoulders. His knowledge about the game and defenses and schemes and everything was head and shoulders above everybody. Then he tightened up his throwing motion. Instead of, oh God, I kind of want to rant about this too long, but instead of him winding all the way back, he just tightened it up quite a bit. For those of you who have ever thrown a dart, watch darts. It's a quick, tight motion. That's what you want to do when you're an NFL quarterback. Is you want a quick, tight motion. You don't want to just wing back. And the NFL is just played at such a fast speed that when you move your arm all the way back. At Alabama, he looked like more of a running back. At Oklahoma, he looked like a quarterback. And then when he went to the combine, he looked like an NFL quarterback. He had a real tight throwing motion. Footwork was phenomenal. I was not surprised at all. After watching him, I was like, oh my God. And he deserved it drafted. I was not sold on him. I thought that was a big question mark. And I also thought that was brilliant that Philly got an extra 1st round pick from the Saints. So you have 2 1st round picks, just like the Lions do. And the only thing is, though, you have to figure out now that you got your guy, what do you do with these 2 1st round picks? Now this is going to be hard. Now you also got to figure out this offseason how much you pay him, because whatever Lamar Jackson makes, Hurts is going to want the same. Can you pay Hurts $40, $50 million a year? Because you're going to have to. So Lions favored at 4 at home versus Seattle. When's the last time Lions favored by 4 or more should smack Sea Ducks? Cliff, I missed you, man. I missed you. I tried to, like I said, I tried to get Pete on here, and Pete said he was confident Cincinnati was going to win, so he didn't want to come on. Because I was going to ask, hey, let's talk Dolphins, Bengals, and he said no, Bengals are going to win big. So Goff's only completing like 56%. I'm all for grabbing one of these quarterbacks this year, but I wouldn't mind seeing the first 3 picks all go in defense, one at every level of defense. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind either. I mean, you're not going to get Anderson, obviously, but there's another corner. I'm drawing a blank. I want to say Clemson, but there's a couple corners that are going to go high in the draft. I didn't see Ozarike. You have to tell me what's going on with him. I'm assuming it's an injury issue, but I don't think he fits in your scheme at all. You may want to just cut ties with him, maybe trade him. I think you should trade him to a team that runs a standard 4-3, some team like Kansas City, for example. If I'm Detroit, I would do that in a heartbeat. And the reason why I would want to do that is because I really think that what's going to happen is you're probably going to pick somewhere between 10 and 15, and the Rams are going to pick 25 and below. So if you do want a quarterback, you're going to have to package this to get up into the top 10. And I don't think this year you're going to pick in the top 10. The reason why is that you really should be 2-1, kind of beating a dead horse here. But yeah. No, I wouldn't mind that. And here's another thing. I don't see the hype around Aaron Glenn. The only thing I will say is that Okuda looks really good. Okuda looked really good. Bengals at home on a short week. Dolphins took a beating in the heat, even with a win. That heat and humidity takes toll on everyone. Lean back. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same exact thing. The line went from 3 to 4, and I'm not betting this game because I think that the Dolphins have a better team than the Bengals, but off a short week, and Denver Gators 100% correct. It was like an oven down there, so. I'm not counting on the Bengals to cover 4 though. I'm not going to bet on this game, but I do like the Bengals. I do like the Bengals. So I had to learn the game the hard way around my cousin, so I never understood what the draft details are so important. Funk says, "Ask any questions you have." Someone in here, yes, okay. Oh boy, why is the draft so important? Okay. Oh boy, God, I don't know how to give a short answer. So what they do every year is players that graduate from college enter what's called the NFL draft. It's a huge event for me. It's bigger than Christmas. It's held right here in Kansas City this year. But so what it is that teams that draft well. I'm going to give you the short, condensed answer. Teams that draft well play well. If you draft a quarterback coming out of college with a high draft pick and he's a bad player, it sets your team back about 5 years. The Minnesota Vikings, when they traded for Herschel Walker and gave up a bunch of draft picks, they didn't win a Super Bowl, but the Cowboys won 3. Teams that draft well win. That's the shortest answer I can give you. Grand, cheaper, younger talent for one thing. That's another thing. Dan, what would be crazy if the Lions actually made a move to get Lamar Jackson? Dude said the Lions were one of the 3 teams he would like to go to, supposedly. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think you said this to me last week, and I kind of poo-pooed it, but now that I think about it, this makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. Number one, I don't know the details behind Goff's contract, but let's say you can move on from Goff, and that's it. Okay, you move on from Goff, it's game over. Okay, let's say you can move on from Goff. All right, you have 2 first-round picks, and you probably don't have to give them both to the oh God, that was a Freudian slip right there. You don't have to give them both to the Ravens, but you probably have to give. When I say both, like you may have to give up one this year and then one in 2024, but you won't have to give up both the 2023 first round picks. You may have to give up a first and a second. You may have to give up a player, which would really suck, but you can do it. They can call okay 5. Okay, yeah. All right. So okay. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you know what the best part is that you would have him going into a full off season with Williams. I'm drawing a blank. Jameson Williams. So you have him and Williams that should work out. I think I'm not 100% sure. I think they're both Florida guys. I know Lamar Jackson is. I think Jameson Williams is a Florida guy. I played. Okay, he played at Alabama. I think he's from Miami. I could be way off on that. I'm almost positive he's from Florida. So getting those two guys together for a full offseason would be a lot of fun. It'd be interesting to see what happens. So, oh yes. So, but that's kind of a short reason why the draft is so important is because the draft makes or breaks teams. It really does. It just makes or breaks teams. If you have a good draft, you're usually have a good team, and teams that draft poorly usually do really, really bad. God, I could literally talk for the next hour about the draft. When the season's over, what I usually do is that I usually take a few weeks off. I still go live. I'm going to change it from Wednesday and Friday. I'll go to just Friday. And then after a few weeks, I'm going to go ahead and I think I missed them. Damn it. Then what I'm going to do is start doing a ton of videos on the draft. So yeah, you'll get a lot of draft. If you stay with this channel, you're going to get a lot of draft information. The draft's one of my all-time favorite events. So he played at Ohio too. Not sure where he's from. I'm almost positive he's from Florida. So what it is that he played at Ohio State, and he wasn't getting any playing time. Now Ohio State had a ton of wide receivers, so he transferred to Alabama, like became a starter, but I'm almost positive he's from Florida. So. No, yeah. I don't get a chance to watch college football as much as I like. Matter of fact, last week I watched almost none. And I always say every year I'm going to watch more college football. I don't, but the NFL draft is one of my all-time favorite things. I'm going to do 30. I'm going to do probably like 35 some videos because I'm going to do a mock draft, all 32 draft picks, 1 through 32. And then I'll do like a couple retraction videos because free agency starts around that time. So I may have a player, like just say okay, like for example, I may have I may have the Minnesota Vikings taking a defensive tackle in the draft, and then in free agency, they sign a defensive tackle. Then I'll do another video and kind of do a retraction. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of draft stuff. Hey, Mimsy Funky is right. The chat's very passionate about their teams and very intelligent across the league. No judgments. This is the best place to learn about your team. Absolutely. You can ask all my social media links are below, and a lot of the guys in the chat are on my social media. You can always DM me if you have any questions. Ask questions in the chat. This is a great. My favorite part about doing the show is just interacting. I love interacting with the fans here, and I'm very lucky because I got some really, really smart people that are really good, knowledgeable about football. So, yes. Oh man, One Pride 40. We didn't talk at all about the Lions. So, oh man, I watched the whole game. So. And I'm in Vegas, so one of the my plan is to actually move out to Vegas. I just haven't yet. I live outside of Kansas City, and it is cold here. Actually, right now, the last week, it has been absolute perfect. It's been absolute perfect. But I know from living here for a long time, in a few, probably in about the next 2 weeks, it's going to go from perfect where I can wear shorts outside to where I have to wear a winter coat and stocking hat. And the last October it didn't snow, but the previous 3 Octobers it did, 2 or 3, I think. So I'm enjoying the fall. It normally goes from summer to winter, but right now there's a fall and it's been beautiful. So Grandma Minzy says the draft is like your poker draw. You get all those ladies talks with their hands passionately. I do. I try not to when I'm on the show, but it was last year. So what? Okay, this is actually a great question. The NFL draft was held at the New York Radio City Music Hall for years, and then the NFL decided that they were going to move the locations. It was in Vegas last year, and this year it's going to be in Kansas City. Mike Bufa, for those of you who don't know, he did a few shows with me. I'm trying to get him to come back on Friday, but his wife hates me, so he may not be allowed. He wants to do something live for the draft. He wants me to broadcast a draft live at a bar. And as of right now, I've been against it because it's like a 5-hour event at a bar. I don't know. It's not as easy as it sounds. So I've been leaning against it, but he's been kind of pushing. He said he'd wanted to help, and more than likely it's probably not going to happen. But yeah. I have no idea what's going on with Michigan State. You'd have to tell me. I didn't watch any college football this weekend, unfortunately. I'm doing a 101 video, which I'm going to try to kind of educate people on football. Then I'm going to do a gambling 101 video. I should have done this before the season started, how to bet on football. Those 2 videos I'm going to try to get out this week, or next week, and then me and Denver Gator are tag teaming Thursday. We're going to do a little betting video for my NFL Bets channel. My NFL History channel, I decided I deleted it. I canceled that. I am going to do some NFL history, but I think I'm going to do that off season, and then just try to build up my YouTube channel, which by the way, I'm 5 away from 800. So please, like, subscribe, share, and like, subscribe, share, and try to get the YouTube channel out. Give me a thumbs up. So I'm glad I'm not a Sparty. That's got to be rough. Oh God, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So. It was this year. This year it's in Kansas City. I think it is Funk. I don't know that for sure. Live in Denver, expecting around 18 inches on the mountain. Holy shit. It's funny. I just got something from Monarch Casino at Black. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff from they gave me a bunch of free shit at the Blackhawk casinos. I got a lot of stuff. I actually wish, do you have an extra room? Can I move in? Because I got the Monarch buffet is fantastic. They gave me 2 buffets. I literally just got it. I don't know if it's lunch or dinner. For dinner, they do like snow crabs and steaks. So what it is, they had these awesome desserts. So what I did is I told the waiters, like, look, I just want to take some of these home. And he's like, yeah, put them in your pocket. I'm not going to say anything. I was like, all right. So I walked out. I had to like, my pockets were bulging, these little cakes. And anyway, buffet is fantastic. Yeah, Monarch, the Lodge. Oh God, yeah. So I'm gonna have to stay with you or something next month for a while because I got so many deals from Black Hawk Casinos, but I have no interest in driving to Colorado because I'm fully aware that there may be snow. It may be a difficult drive, so I wear my feet. That is awesome. That is awesome. If it snows here, people lose their minds. I used to live in Tahoe. I used to do chains and driving anything. Oh God. What stinks about the Midwest is that we get more ice than snow. We get ice almost every year. Where I live at is okay. It's going to sound really crazy, but I live on the Kansas-Missouri border. The Kansas areas do a plus job on the roads. The Missouri side does not. I actually drove a snowplow for the city of Olathe, and they take it very serious where I live. So like when the roads even are close, we're all on alert, and yeah, it's a big deal. So like even though we do get ice, the roads are usually pretty decent. It's just like apartment complexes, neighborhoods, those are kind of iffy, but the main roads are confident. So it's sad when fans are more confident. You're right. And what the sad part is they came into the season ranked and they're recruiting really, really well. They are in East Lansing is a recruiting hotbed. They got a lot of talent, but I haven't had a chance to watch them. So yeah. If you see a woman driving a Pontiac Torrent that looks fine in the snow, it's my mom. She moved to Vegas. Dude, I'm serious. I really do. One of these days, it's a matter of time before I end up in Vegas. I fell in love with Colorado going out there. So I kind of want to go out to Colorado. I would move out to Colorado today if I could. I loved it out there, but the plan I will be in Vegas one of these days. Probably Henderson if I'm being technical, but I was at the game, didn't score till 16. Oh God, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know. I didn't know. Sorry, man. Remember, make it easier for the ladies to understand. Shorten M and too technical. Remember, if we explain it up, LOL. The video I came out with, I released today, I thought was as bare basics as you can get explaining the teams. And then I rewatched it. And I think I may have been a little too complex, but I'm doing a video next week where I'm going to explain the offense, and I think I got a good gauge. Like I said, I may make it like a bare bones basic, and then like a 101, 102, where I make it bare bones basic, and then I kind of advance it up for some people. So I'm sorry, One Pride. I'm going to the bank to win. That's kind of funny. Hi, dude. Yeah. You know what? One Pride, I'm glad you said that because I keep hearing there's a lot of love about Aaron Glenn, and I'm not at all impressed. And me and Funk disagree, but that timeout that you took, that was just comically bad. Like I remember the clock stopped, and I knew the Vikings. So what is I watched the rebroadcast, watched the whole game, and I'm watching it, and I knew the Vikings won. Okay, I already knew that, and I knew that Osborne got the touchdown, and I knew he got the touchdown. Was it 38 seconds, 28 seconds, anything? I didn't know what happened. So when the clock stopped, I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? And I'm thinking I'm thinking Lions fans are going to be pissed. I mean, what the hell are they stopping the clock for? And then I found out the Lions called their last timeout. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You have got, and then the play right after the timeout, the blown assignment. I have to go back. I'm you know what? I'll be honest. I'm probably not going to go back, but I'd like to see because it looked like the safety in the corner, there was a miscommunication. I think the corner blew the assignment. I don't think it was Okuda. I think it was the guy you guys got from us. I think it was Hughes who blew the assignment, but Osborne was wide open. And when you're a corner in that situation. And what happened was it's a simple two-way route. All right. There was an out and then a flag. You can call it a 7 route. You can call it a flag route. Some people call it a post route. Basically, it's like this. It's an angle towards the end zone. That's why I call it a flag route. And then there was an out. And for whatever reason, the corner jumped the out route. And why you do that in that situation is just terrible. There's no excuse for that. So he jumped the route, and the safety was probably in a deep 2 because it looked like they're playing cover 2. To be perfectly honest, what they should have been is deep quarters. But okay, I'm getting a little too technical here. Bottom line, yeah, I don't understand the hype about Aaron Glenn. I don't think he's done a particularly good job. You guys should have won that game. You really should have won that game. It was some bad coaching. And I didn't like the 4th and 1 call. The timeout was terrible. And then after the timeout, every decision was worse than the other. That's the thing that bothered me. You should have went for it on 4th down instead of kicking the long field goal. You called the timeout, which was a mistake. And then after the timeout, you blow the coverage. You're up by 10. In my opinion, it's Dalvin Cook, not Justin Jefferson. Most people disagree. Tell you Jefferson's better than Cook. I think Cook's more important because Cook runs the ball. He has more carries. He has more touches. That's the word I was looking for. So he has more touches. He's more important. He's out. So the best player on the Vikings out. You're up by 10. You've been playing a good team. You played a good game. You should have won. I agree completely, Cliff. I would love to see Dan Campbell. Let's say he gets fired this year, next year. If he wanted to come to Kansas City and be a tight ends coach, the Chiefs would open up the checkbook. I mean, the Chiefs would pay him an arm and a leg, and he wouldn't be just the tight ends coach. He would be the same title he held with the Saints. He'd be like associate head coach or something like that, but he would coach tight ends and he'd be like an assistant head coach. I would love to see Dan Campbell coach a college team. I would love to see Dan Campbell coach a college team. I think he would be a plus college coach. You could send him somewhere like Nebraska, Michigan State, and he would do a phenomenal job. I would not be surprised though if they move on from Aaron Glenn after the year. But I mean, dude, hey, listen. They're 1-2. There's a good chance they can go 2-2, and there's a long season. So I mean, any coaches being fired is a little too soon. I just found your channel and got the note. Yes. Please check out that video. And if you have any questions, put a comment. All my social media links are listed. You can also email me directly. I kept the old email address. It's Dan Talks, or I'm sorry, it's the Dan Show at yahoo.com, but it's in the description below. You can email me directly, DM me on any one of my social media links, drop a comment in there if it didn't make sense. Because I did the video and then I rewatched it and I thought I might have made it a little too complex. I've been obsessed with football for over 40 years. So it's kind of hard for me to get into the mind of somebody who doesn't know the game. So I'm trying to, the 101 videos is something kind of new. So Grand, leave a comment if anything confused you from the video. Yes. MSU DC, my guy. Oh, MSU. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I keep it simple like Madden, 3 phases to football: offense, defense, and special teams. At the end of the day, whoever scores the most wins. You know what? Well, what I did is I did a video. About the conferences and the divisions, and I thought it was really good. And I went back and I thought maybe I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. It didn't get a lot of traction early on. But the next week I'm going to do just an offense, and then I was thinking doing offense and then doing one on defense, and then from there I kind of want to see where I'm getting comments at and kind of the feedback of what I need to do. I also should have come out with a 101 gambling video, how to bet on a game, and I want to get that out next week. So I'm going to release that on the Dan Betts NFL channel. I'm going to try to do like that when me and you have our video. So the blown assignment was by Walker's backup, Juju Hughes. Hopefully Malafano is healthy. Juju is that okay? It was, yeah. Hughes, yeah. That's what I thought because it looked like the corner bit on the out. Why? I have no clue. But I mean, you should just let that play. I mean, honestly, who cares he catches that out route? But yeah. After 3 weeks, yes, and I really liked what they were doing offensively. Amon-Ra St. Brown looks like a legitimate number one future superstar. Swift looked really good. He's got an ankle; it's going to bother him all year. He's not going to get healthy. The offensive line solid. Goff looks decent, but I still think that what you're going to do is I really think that you're going to use both your first round picks next year, and I think you're going to go after a quarterback. I mean, hopefully what happened in San Francisco doesn't happen with you guys, but I kind of see like that's what you guys are going to do is after this year, you're going to move on from Goff. So I think they overthought everything. I don't, you got a good point. That 4th and 1 call, that was terrible. I could not believe they didn't go for it there. So when I'm watching it, and I already know what's going to happen, so I know the score's 28-24, but they're up 24-14. I'm sorry, no, this time there was 24-21. So I'm like, if you kick a field goal, you still lose by a touchdown. So I just naturally assumed that they went for 4th and 1 and was stopped again. The 4th and 1 call was bad. The timeout was just comical. Like I was really thinking that Lions fans were going to be mad, and then I find out the Lions called the timeout. I was floored by that, and then the blown coverage, and it looked like it was the corner's fault. And if it was backup corner, it makes sense. So Dan Campbell learn how to coach with the lead. No state leads, not then. Oh, okay. Dan Campbell needs to learn how to coach with the lead. Yeah, exactly, Funk, 100%. It's kind of funny because you nailed it, because when they were down, when they get down, they fight and claw and scratch, and that's what makes the Lions so much fun, is because they're it's really rare that when you have a bad team that just fights when they're down week in and week out. And that's what the Lions did last year. I know for a fact if the Lions are down 31-7 in the 4th quarter, it's still a game because they're going to fight and be aggressive. But when they had the lead, instead of being aggressive, they went backwards and ended up being passive. Really, really bugged me. He should have been aggressive. They should have went for it. They probably win the game. I think they would have made it. And I think they could have made. I think they would have made it, to be honest with you, and I think they would have won the game. But yeah. And I'm still too new for people to find me, but I've done enough video now that my grandma says finds. Okay. We'll do this. After the video's over, you can drop a comment to your YouTube channel. I am subscribed to you. I didn't put it in the description because you've been new, but drop a comment below, link your YouTube channel, and I'm more than happy to share it. But drop a comment with your YouTube channel, and anybody who wants to follow it. I think I subscribed. I haven't watched any of your videos yet, but yeah. And when you get a few more of those sort of ladies going, I'll send out my video to when I go. Yes, please do. Thank you. Since I didn't see the game, how did the Vikings win? Oh boy. Okay. The Vikings were down 24-14. I thought there was 6 minutes. Funk says there was 8, but basically halfway through the 4th quarter, the Vikings ended up scoring to make it 24-21. The Lions with less than 2 minutes tried for a long field goal, missed it. And then with about a minute 13 left, the Vikings went down, scored a touchdown. Um, what happened is the play that scored the touchdown, it was what's called a blown coverage in the secondary. The corner who was supposed to have the wide receiver jumped up in front. I have a whiteboard. I could literally draw the play for you, but basically the Lions made a mistake and the Vikings capitalized. But to make it sound, oh, and by the way, this is the play that they scored a touchdown. Every college quarterback receiver combo, every NFL quarterback receiver combo, a lot of high school receiver, it was a very simple throw and catch. It was something that never should have been available. It was a complete error on the Lions. What it is that the receiver ran, you can call it a 7 route, you can call it a flag route, some people call it a post. Basically, it just goes like this, and it was like to the corner of the end zone. The defensive back, okay, yeah, it's a 7 route. So anyway, they ran a 7 route, which is basically you go like this and you go to the back of the end zone or to the front of the end zone. The Lions defensive back should have stayed back there, but a receiver ran an out route, which is this, out, and the defensive back jumped the route. This is like high school teams don't make this mistake. It was really bad. So, but 2 touchdowns in late in the 4th minute. Okay. Okay, yeah. So what happened is the Lions got the ball back with 25 seconds left. It was not a bad idea, because what you have to do in that situation is just throw the ball deep. They had no timeouts. So what you do in a situation like that is you actually are hoping for a penalty. You're hoping for a pass interference. And the Lions' number 1 receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't even know if he wasn't the guy that they threw the ball to. But he's been banged up. So there was no problem. The interception wasn't what really won the game. It was a blown coverage on the Lions. So, or blindside. No, the blindside wouldn't. It wouldn't. No, the interception at the end of the game. You could say that they got Goff from the blind side. No, Goff just kind of threw up a Hail Mary. No, I didn't have a problem with that at all. The defensive blown coverage is really blew the game, and it's very simple scheme by NFL standards. Basically, what it is that you have what's called levels, and when a quarterback, most NFL offenses, you want to go from short to long. There's a few offenses you go long to short, but basically when you're an NFL quarterback, what you want to do is you want to look either to the left or to the right. In the particular situation where the Lions got the ball, the first read was he went to his right side. It's just easier. Most quarterbacks are right-handed. I feel like I'm making this way too complex. It's extremely simple, because what you do is you have 1 receiver short, 1 receiver long. And what happened is that the corner who was supposed to take the long receiver, he took the short one. So I feel like I made that way too complex, and it's a very simple read. But the mistake that the Lions made in the secondary is something that college teams, high schools don't do. So a few other things before I wrap up. Me and Denver Gator are going to do a little bets video. I'm going to have that Thursday. I'm going to try my best to release it Thursday. So when I come back Friday, you should be able to see it. I do have, there's actually 2 games I wanted to bet on, and both of them, the lines have changed. I'm kind of mad about that because the lines changed to not favor me. I might still bet on them anyway. I'm going to do some in-game betting probably. I'm not sure if I'm going to wake up at 8:30 for that London game. For those of you who don't know, there is a hurricane in Tampa Bay right now. So the Buccaneers have relocated practice to Miami. This just came on ESPN earlier today that if the Chiefs Bucks have to relocate, they're going to relocate to Minneapolis, and this is going to affect a lot of things betting wise, but it's not going to affect the line of the game. The Chiefs are 1.5 point favorite, but the line over under is 45. It could go up to 48, 49, 50. I'm going to keep an eye out on this because despite the Chiefs losing, the defense played really, really well, and this may be a good opportunity. If the game's played indoors, a lot of people may jump on the over where I would jump on the under because I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Great game, by the way, between Tampa Bay and Kansas City. It's kind of unfair because Tampa Bay is the home team, and they're the ones having to relocate, go through a bunch of problems. But, yeah, Hurricane Ian, my son's name's Ian, well, good luck for it. Yeah, and it's a really big disadvantage because Tampa Bay, normally when you have a home game and you have the home field advantage, even if they do have to play in Tampa Bay, the fact that they've had to relocate the practice is a big deal. Kansas City, it doesn't affect them at all. They're practicing here, and so it's a big disadvantage. And the line's been affected a little bit, so. Yeah, I literally have a whiteboard behind me, and I could literally draw out the play. And what I'm going to do is on my 101 video that I'm going to release next week, I have a whiteboard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a play on TV. This is my plan: is I'm going to show a play on TV, and then I'm going to draw it on the whiteboard and kind of explain just the bare basics of an NFL offense. And then I thought about the second half of the video being a little more in depth for football fans, trying to explain it. But yeah, just some other things. I'm just going to kind of read some of the stuff from ESPN, but I just want to touch base on this before I wrap up. Joey Bosa and a bunch of other Chargers. Joey Bosa went on IR. Chargers injury report is big. They got blown out by Jacksonville. Rashawn Slater, who played phenomenal as a rookie, is out for the year. This is a massive loss. Justin Herbert, that rib injury he has is not going to heal up. Keenan Allen may come back to practice. The Chargers are in some really bad shape right now. Mac Jones, he's banged up. I fully expect he'll play, but the Patriots are kind of being tight-lipped about it. Shocker. The Jets have a boatload of injuries. That's something to really watch. This is a team I think that's sinking fast. I would not be surprised if Salah doesn't make it through. And I said this, I wasn't really high on the Salah hiring before the season, but I don't think he's going to make it through. And it's not really his fault. They got 3 left tackles that are injured. It's not their fault at all, but he's probably not going to survive this. And then Myles Garrett was involved in a car crash. It would keep like me or you out for several weeks. He's probably just going to be banged up, but he'll probably play. So, Yeah. I have a whiteboard, and I've been dying to do some designs. But yes, I could literally break out the whiteboard right now and diagram the play. At least what happened on it would be like the quarterback's right, but if you're watching it, it would be like the bottom of the screen. But yeah, I could easily diagram it. And so when I do the 101 video, I'm going to show you a play, and I'm going to show you on the whiteboard. And I think that'd be a good idea to just try to do the bare basics of just trying to explain football. So anyway, I'm glad I didn't because I don't want to give out too many personal details, but I know you're close, but I know you're not in Tampa. So I don't want to give out too many personal details, but I'm glad you're safe. That's the main thing. And by the way, Cliff, I love having you in here, man. I love having you in here. I hope that you are here a lot more often. So I'm really glad to know. And don't forget to follow me on social media. Do tell Pete. I don't know how often you talk to Pete, but I was hoping he'd come on the show, but he's firmly convinced Bengals are going to win. So good. By the way, good luck Thursday night. We'll talk about that game Friday. So if nobody else has anything, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Share this video and share my channel. Try to get the message out. It's a great YouTube community. I really love it. So yeah, I'm glad. Dan, thanks for doing the show. Yeah, I do this just for my entertainment. I can't tell you. I love doing this. I look forward to doing this all day. I look forward to doing this all week. When the season ends, I'm only going to do Fridays, but I do it all year round. It's usually every week, but there's exceptions. But during the NFL season, it's going to be Wednesday and Friday. So I love it. I love it. So I thank you very much for joining. I've had a lot of fun doing this. So I really appreciate it. So that's it. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. I'll see everybody Friday.